I got some help today. My son's up there on the roof trying to get the cap off.
He had to call in the big guns of the operation.
The thing is full of creosote, isn't it?
It's glued on here like super glue.
All right, can you get that cap off?
This thing off of here. Let's see what happens.
He's got to bang on that with the chisel because it's all glued together with creosote.
Well, the good news is it's wiggling.
Oh, it's moving. Good.
Maybe that's all it needed. There it goes.
All right.
I don't see any direct clogs, but I'll need a light so I can look down there. But this is clogged up solid. I think this is the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. Oh my gosh. Well, I knew that thing was plugged up, but
I don't know if this is worth cleaning or replacing, but it's probably, since it's a double walled, it's probably better to clean it.
well, let's take a look inside that thing.
When I was banging on it, it knocked a lot of it loose, but
Oh my gosh, no wonder it was smoke in my house out. There's no way. How would the smoke even get out of there?
there's a couple of holes like right here,
Oh my gosh.
but that's about it.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
That's clogged solid except for that one little hole.
Wow.
So
Well, let's take it over and see if we can beat that stuff out of there and get it cleaned out.
I guess we need to start our own chimney service,
Oh
since the
man.
actual chimney guys couldn't handle
I know,
it.
the chimney sweeps couldn't do this, but we're doing it ourselves. The chimney should be pretty clean though, because I ran the chimney brush through it,
You
so.
should probably run it from the top down just to make sure it's...
Yeah, we can do
Because
that.
it looks pretty chunky in there up at the top still.
Okay. Well, we beat the creosote out of it and it's actually open now. The air can actually flow through it again. So, you gonna climb up there and see if you can
Yep.
put it back on, and then I can get a fire going and it should draft.
I would think it's going to work 100%.
I would think it's gonna work 100% better. We put the gorilla ladder up right here, and then I've got my old wooden ladder going up, and I have it where it kind of hooks over the ridge there, so he can actually walk on that without falling. He's shining a flashlight in there to see if it needs cleaned. What do you think? The bottom part should be pretty clean because I ran that brush through it pretty good.
Yeah, I can see all the way down to where it curves into the stove. It looks like it's probably okay.
Okay, good. Final step where he's going to blow the junk off of the roof. When he was trying to take the cap off, all these chunks were rolling down the roof. Look at this. Big sticky chunks of creosote. And they're all over in the yard here where they rolled off the roof. That's a professional job there. Son and I decided to take a walk this afternoon. It's going up towards 50 degrees today. It's a beautiful sunny day. I don't know if you guys have ever met my son Jordan. This is Jordan.
Hello, I'm Jordan, Itchymoche's son.
You also have a sister who's a little older than you.
I think she may be 2 years older.
Yeah.
She's 2 years older.
So, but him and I decided to take a walk today. My son, I'm so grateful for him. I mean, you helped me clean that chimney today. I didn't have to go up on the roof.
Well, I try my best to, be a part of the family.
He's a good helper to me when I need it, and I really appreciate that a lot. He's a man of many talents. You have been, a lineman for the power company.
Yeah, I worked for Ohio Edison for a couple years. I have a degree in electrical technology, and I worked for Ohio Edison as a power lineman for a couple years.
And then you were a police officer.
Yeah, unfortunately, the thing with Ohio Edison is I spent some good time in the military, and when I got out of the military, I went to Ohio Edison. And Ohio Edison, I felt like they were running the show like the military.
Yeah.
So I said, it's just not, I liked the work, it just wasn't my,
You just didn't like to be
right,
controlled with the politics.
So I said, I was an infantry soldier in the military, and so I thought to myself, well, where am I best served? And so that's when I decided to go to police academy, and I was a police officer for 2 years. So.
And you didn't like that either.
Well, it's not that I didn't like being a police officer. I can tell you when I was working as a police officer, that was probably the best job I've ever had as a career path.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, at the same time, I was going through a lot of stuff with the veteran services due to my military history, and the military decided at that time it was best for me to go put on medical retirement.
Yeah.
So I'm medically retired from the military, stay-at-home dad, taking care of my kids, but it's working out good for my family and I. My wife's a super hard worker. She's a professional nurse, and she enjoys doing it. So she's more than happy to go to work, and it's really good for her to do that.
Cool.
And
cool.
It's great because it gives me time that I can come spend with Itchymoche here, my dad,
Yeah.
and we can hang out together. We can tell stories about growing up, and when we have issues or problems with things going on in our lives, we're able to talk to each other, and it gives us a good place to vent and have discussions.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why we enjoy these walks.
Yeah.
It's not only for exercise and weight loss, but get to spend time with my dad.
Yeah, yeah. And I enjoy spending time with you too. Let's talk about your military service a little bit here. You served in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
I did. So one thing about that is, like I said, I was an infantry soldier.
You were 82nd Airborne, though,
Yes.
paratrooper.
Yes. So I started off in my time in the military when I was a older teenager, but I was maybe 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I wasn't Mr. Physical Muscle Man, but mentally I'm like, I want to be that crazy, ridiculous, Army guy. Growing up, I used to watch Rambo a lot, and Sylvester Stallone.
So that was your impetus for joining the military.
So of course I'm like, I went in the doors and I was like, I want to be an infantry. And those recruiters were all over me like,
boy.
I didn't know what I was getting into. Anyway, so I went into the recruiting station and I was like, hey, I want to be an Army Ranger.
Yeah.
Is literally what I told them. I wanted to go to Ranger school. And so they said the best way to go through Ranger school is there's a process to get there. You don't just go into Ranger school.
Right.
So I went into the infantry. I did my basic training in the infantry. It was at, I always want to say Fort Bragg. It's not Fort Bragg. That's where I was
Fort
stationed.
Benning, Georgia.
But it was Fort Benning, Georgia, the home of the infantry. That's where I was. And then I went directly into my specialty training, which was mortars. So I've always been terrible at math. Somehow when I took the Army entrance test, I scored my highest scores in math. I think it was probably luck, I don't really know. And they said, you're going to be a mortar man because it requires calculating and math and stuff.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was like, oh great, here we go. So I was a full-time infantry soldier, but I specialized in mortars. So after my mortar training, they said the fastest way to get to Ranger School is to go to the 82nd Airborne and be a paratrooper. And I said, sweet, let's do it. So I went to paratrooper school, and so I was an 82nd Airborne paratrooper. I have my airborne wings, and ever since I've been known as Airborne Jordan. So
that's awesome.
So I'm Airborne Jordan.
And then how many times do you really ended up paratrooping out of a plane?
It's different than skydiving. It's way different. I won't get into technical details of that, but it's static line jumping. Basically, you just jump out of the plane and you go where the wind takes you.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I've only logged about maybe 25 to 30 jumps out of the plane. I was going to do significantly more. I actually enjoyed that. It was time to go to Ranger School, and my platoon sergeant and stuff was getting ready to sign me up, and I said, you know what? And this had been like maybe going on a year and a half or 2 years of service.
Okay.
I said, you're ready to go to Ranger School now. Some of the guys said they graduated from being paratroopers and said, all right, you're going straight to Ranger School. And it was optional though, and I opted to say, you know what? I think I'm going to go chill for a while, do the Army thing, and then go to Ranger School.
Yeah.
So that's what I chose to do. But the problem with that is, once I started getting into the Army, I decided I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I never did become a Ranger, but I was an 82nd Airborne infantry soldier, which is pretty impressive in itself.
You served active duty.
Yeah, I was active duty full time.
And you ended up with a Purple Heart.
Yeah, so anyways, I ended up going over to Germany to serve in the mortars. They were starting a new mortar group over there. So they sent us over to Germany, and I lived there for 2 years. So next thing you know, here comes the war in Iraq.
Yeah.
My whole brigade was the closest military brigade within reason to Iraq. So here we are, the 1st Brigade as infantry soldiers deployed to the war in Iraq, and so we were in it. We were the first soldiers there, no bases established, nothing. We were literally the first group in there.
Oh my gosh.
And things were pretty heated.
How did you like the desert?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, the desert temperatures were awesome. I'm a hot-blooded person. The hotter, the better. So I did very well out in the deserts. The hottest day we had logged was 143 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not gonna lie, that was hot.
Yeah.
143 degrees in the desert, hot, did me well. But my time in Iraq as an infantry soldier was rough. I just will say generically, we got into it multiple occasions. I ended up receiving a Purple Heart due to some pretty severe injuries, and I'm thankful that I have all my limbs and fingers intact because...
And I'm very thankful, and I praise Jesus every day that he came home in one piece.
I honestly can say that I don't know how I made it out of there in my situation alive, yet alone, everything intact. And, I proclaim to be a born-again Christian, and I prayed every day when I was in the war. And that is literally my only explanation. I don't know any other way that kept me alive.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
That alone kept me alive.
Absolutely. Well, you guys know that we all believe in prayer, and as I tell you, I'm always praying for you guys too, because I really do believe it works, and I know you guys need prayer as much as we all do. I'm glad you got to meet my son today. He's a cool kid. And he's a big blessing to me for sure. And I just love him so much. Thanks for watching. You know the routine. You like my video, give us a thumbs up button. And subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, guys. We'll catch you later.
Thanks for letting me talk.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic. The chimney is clean from top to bottom. I can open the doors and there's no smoke. There's no smoke, and see, there's fire in there, a smoky fire, and the smoke is going right up the chimney like it's supposed to. I'm elated. staying nice and warm in here now. And I don't have to be running my brand new furnace, which I do still have set to 50 degrees. For the last couple days though, I've been running the brand new furnace because to build a fire in here, you saw how plugged up that thing was. The house was just full of white smoke. It was choking. It burned my eyes. It was so bad. I had to leave the one day because I had a fire going in there, and there wasn't much of a fire, but it was smoking so bad in here that I couldn't even stay here. I had to get out. And but after that, I just let the furnace run, and then it was very comfortable in here. Right now, though, I'm so elated. I'm so happy. I got that fixed. I got a brand new furnace now. I have heat. And then of all things, it's like 50 degrees today. It's really warmed up. It's super nice outside. And so I was able to spend some time with my son today. And we actually got out there and enjoyed the weather and took a little walk. Well, thanks for watching today, cats. If you liked the video, hit me with that thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you on board. Always keeping you guys in my prayers. God's so good to me. I'm so blessed in ways beyond my comprehension. I'm a happy camper. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you all later. Man, look at that stuff. That's disgusting. Sticky too.